Hey there, it is Kim here, and I'm just excited. I'm excited to record this video for you because you have specifically um, asked for help with or want to brainstorm about creating your own MemberVault account. And the thing about this brainstorming session is some folks walk away with this session and they go and do it themselves. And some folks don't, and they end up having somebody else do it for them. Either way, you're going to get some information in here to help you through that thought process of building your own classroom. So let me real quickly here share the screen. My goal is that you get some clarity and also some vision about your classroom. So you landed on my page, and as of the recording for today, this is what the front of my classroom looks like. So I want you to just imagine in a little section right here having a quick little welcome video welcoming people to your hub, mall, store, product line, your resource center, whatever you want to call it when you are referencing it. But you can have a little welcome video, or you can just have your image and a little welcome statement. And then you have the opportunity to have two buttons, call to action buttons, inviting them into someplace on here, on in your store, in your hub. Okay, so I want you to be thinking about that. The colors are totally brandable, meaning we can change the colors to match your brand that you may already have on your website that you may currently have. And we can put your logo if you have a logo there. Now, this video is being created, this brainstorming, for a vast array of different types of authors, authorpreneur, and kingdom entrepreneurs. So I have talked to an author before who didn't even have a website, and she just wanted to use this little hub area as her website. So I explained to her how she could get a domain name, going to someplace like GoDaddy and getting a domain name called www.myname.com or whatever. And you can go in your settings and forward. It's called domain forwarding. Okay. So, and then people would put in that and they would come here, and this was going to be her website. She wasn't really going to be writing a blog. She was doing all of her connection on some different social media streams, and she had a book that she was working on, so she wanted to put about the book, and she just wanted a little easy hub space. Okay, so she did that, or that's what she intended to go and do. So then, everywhere to folks that have, lots of products and coaching packages, and they've just kind of been scattered all over their website, and, nobody really knows where they are. They're not easy to find, and they just wanted one place. And then there's people in between, right, who are still building up a product line, who have notebooks and notebooks of classes and things that they've taught and shared with their audience. And now they're just trying to get all those resources into one spot. All right. So that's what this hub space would be all about. And, depending on when you watch this video, there may be more or less things on my hub space. And so you can scroll through there and see what I've got. So what I want to do in this video is to kind of step you through some brainstorming and thinking process before we have our meeting, because more than likely you've scheduled by now your meeting with me, and it's probably not happening within the next few hours, right? You've got some days to think about some things. And I want to give you some information so that you don't feel overwhelmed when we have our call, our brainstorming call. This is some pre-brainstorming, all right? So in this lesson that I have for you that opened up after you purchased this brainstorming session, you now have this product that I triggered to open after you purchased a brainstorming session with me. That's one of the little tricks that you can do here in this MemberVault area. So let me pop up the two PDFs that I've created for you. First one is just a vision and planning some worksheets. So this is my blah plain MemberVault area. Okay, it's the draft, so to speak, of what you see when you look in here on mine. Okay, so, and all of this is editable and tweakable at any time. I just want you to start thinking about, for instance, do you want a video welcoming people to your hub, or do you want a photo? So you will need to either create a welcome video or create a photo, right? What would you want your welcome message to be? Whoops. Your freebie, the thing about MemberVault is you're using that area to grow your list, and so you want a free something. And and we cover that more in another tip sheet, but I just want you to start thinking about this. And then your products. And this can, I showed you mine. You show me yours, I showed you mine, I showed you mine. I have several. I know, other people that have even more. I know people that have 3. And that is what is completely working for them, for their business. So no comparison game here. You just do you, right? You just do you and do what you feel comfortable with. But I do suggest at least a freebie and at least, one paid product. Now that paid product may not be ready yet. We may set you up with a coming soon button, get on the wait list, right? There's all kinds of different ways that you can do this, but I just want you to be thinking about it, okay? Now, the thing about MemberVault, so let's step into why did Kim choose MemberVault? So 2 reasons for me when I chose MemberVault back in 2018. First of all was the cost. I compared lots of different places to host a product, a class. It was actually really a challenge. And I looked at all the different places to host that. And I was growing my list. I didn't really even have a list yet. And I was not ready to pay a lot of money. That's just the cold hard truth. Because I was doing a free challenge and I didn't even really have a paid product ready yet. So I heard about this MemberVault. It was something new on the scene. They'd only been around at that time about 18 months, I think it was, and had been in beta a few months prior to that, or maybe even up to a year. But anyway, they were still growing. And they did something in a way that not a lot of other teaching platforms do. And so there's several of them. Gosh, there's Teachable, there's Thinkific, there's Kajabi, there's Everlesson, there's a member, there's Oh gosh, there's a bunch. Okay, there's Gumroad. There's a lot of different places that you can host your classes products on. But a lot of those some of them have free options, but you're very limited. You can maybe only have 2 or 3 products. And a MemberVault did it differently because they gave you complete full access at the time to their whole suite, everything possible that you could do, and you could have up to 50 people. That was the base limit, up to 50 at the time, free, but still have access. You could do and set up everything. And I appreciated that they let you have multiple products. So you could have 10 products, but as long as you only had 50 people or less signing up and as on your list using the portal, then it was still free for you. And that was talking my language. And so that was the main reason that I did it, because I was investigating things for other authors who hadn't sold their books yet, were looking for a place for a hub. And in the meantime, I absolutely fell in love with the product, the way it was easily built, and the community of collaborators who are actively building and working on their classrooms for themselves or for other people. And so when I started with the group, there was less than 1,000 people, and I think the last time I looked it was like up to almost 5,000. I know it was 4,800. There'd been a huge surge in online classrooms in the past few months, and so their business has truly grown. So I said all that to be showing you this boring square triangle. In the old days, the old ways, you started with a free and then you would do an email, and that would lead to another smaller paid product that then led to a smaller product or another product that led to a big paid product. And sometimes you saw that triangle upside down. It was called feeding the funnel. But I like the narrow topic. I like it this way. But the thing about this is, because of the way MemberVault is set up, you never really know what is the free thing unless you specifically put it over there, the first thing. So that's what I've done. So this is my example on my page. That's what I did. So really, MemberVault looks more like this, right? Because you're not waiting for emails to tell you, oh, now advance to this product. Oh, now advance to this product. Oh, here's my big coaching program, or here's my big, super duper giant huge challenge, or whatever. Okay. Instead, somebody comes into your hub and they can see everything that you have all at one time. Now, you may promote things along the line, and you may at sometimes, hide a particular product that you're not really wanting new people to sign up for, but people who've already purchased it can still have access. But for the most part, everything that you have as active can be immediately seen. So it's a little bit different of a triangle, right? It's a storefront. Their terminology is binge and buy, because you may send somebody to your store for one particular thing, your hub, but they may end up buying something else. They may not buy something then, but as you continue to mention about things about your hub, especially about your free resource. And so we've got the topic triangle, the narrow topic. That narrow topic is something that correlates, is congruent with the first little paid something and the next paid something. So in my instance, I'm the type of person that I like to see live examples So for my example, the biggest thing holding back most writers, and for that, after polling my writing group at various different times in the past 2 or 3 years, mindset and self-doubting, doubting their own writing is like the number one thing. And so this offer for them is just a little PDF I made of positive quotes and some scriptures to encourage them. Okay. My next thing that I have for them is not actually even next in line. It's buried down here, and that's just because it's kind of how it's arranged right now. But I have some writing planners and blogging planners for them. And those are planners to help them get the work done, because part of that self-doubt is doubting their ability to do it. Well, if you will make time and you will plan for it, then it will get done, and you'll start building, it'll start a little confidence snowball. And then my next thing with the writers is my Difference Maker Studio. At the time of the recording of this is the Difference Maker Studio, and that's an accountability studio where I encourage them. I hold them accountable. Now, I don't, I'm not putting their feet over the fire, but I am gently prodding them every week to start out with writing intentions, make a goal. And because the mindset and the self-doubt, I try to have a weekly message for them to help encourage them along. So see, you can see my example of my narrow topic and how it led to the broadest topic, the baseline, the foundation, and that is getting in my Facebook group and let me encourage them along. Okay. So, but they can see all these other things that I also offer, and I also do. I do one-on-one brainstorming coaching, so they may be stuck in their book world and just can't even figure out what's the next project that they should work on. And so, I can step them through some thought processes to help them figure out which one do they really want to work on, right? So, one of the things that helped me to do all that was knowing that client's path, that story of they're wanting to write, but they're hesitant. They haven't been writing. They doubt themselves. Will anybody ever want to read what I write? But, I want to write. And so they gain some confidence. They decide that they do want to write. But sometimes there's still some self-doubt, but they keep forging ahead. Let's plan, let's do it. And, it moves them along through the process. It's also called a client success path, but the client's path story. So you want to kind of know that as you're planning out your classroom, as you're planning what you're going to put in your classroom. And, let's face it, I don't have the piece of paper handy, but when I first planned my classroom, I'm looking because I know I've kept it because I kept it for a memento for right now. I brain dumped all my possibilities, and we'll talk about that in a minute. And so knowing your client's path or their story is going to help you with this whole process of planning out your classroom, of knowing which thing to put in your classroom. You may have a bunch of stuff, but which one makes sense to put in there that leads your client through a path, through a progression. Okay. I've thrown in here in this PDF some brainstorming words. Remember, I said at the beginning, are you going to call it your mall, your store, your center, your learning place, mission control, your resource vault? It's just what you call it when you're referencing it in your blog, in your email, on social media. People start kind of correlating the two. So these are just some brainstorming words, and keep going, think about it, use a thesaurus, use wordhippo.com, use something to help you think through that process. So the number one thing was the free something, and I have a checklist. I have another little checklist that'll help you go through that, but I want you to understand how this is laid out. So every one of these is considered a class or a product or a, it's the thing, okay? It's the thing, whatever that is for you, whatever it is that offer that you're offering, okay? And you can click learn more, and that will show you what is on the right hand side. See, you can see all these different components. Those are modules, okay? Those are modules. So you have the course, and then you have the modules. Inside the modules, and I don't know if you can see because it's shaded out, it says how many lessons are in there. And most of these are just 1 or 2 lessons in mine, okay? So I made this little brainstorming session for you, to think about a product, a class, whatever it is that is offering, and then the module, okay, and then what lessons would be in there, how many lessons would be in there. And this can go, if you click one of mine and see that I only have 2 or 3, it can go on. However many modules make sense for that product. The main thing to remember, and I think I cover it in the checklist, but I may not, so jot it down right now, is the going trend is that people consume things better when they're small chunks. So even at that, right now, I'm hesitating to continue on in this video because I want you to be able to consume this, and I don't know how long it's been running because I forgot to set my timer, because 20 minutes is about the tops, 5 to 20 minutes. So some other things to consider, I'll run through this real quickly. Some other things to consider is your timeline of events, mainly for your process. So you are the only one, if you're doing this by yourself or if you're going to hire it done, what your timeline is of you want this product, but let's say that you're wanting this product, but it's because something's about to happen in 2 weeks time. Sorry, there's a fly buzzing around. There's, in 2 weeks time. Are you going to have enough time to effectively get all the elements ready, right? So have a timeline in mind of what the reasonable amount of work and expectations, and also a timeline. You could also use this timeline because once you start brain dumping all of these different things that you could put in your hub, you can't do it all in one night. So give yourself some space and say, okay, I'll do this one this week or this month. It just depends on you, but kind of planning that out. And that could also be used for the sequence chain. You could plan, okay, I want to do my freebie first, and then I want to do this one because this one makes sense in my client's path. Then I want to do this one, and then, the sequence chain can be that. The sequence chain can also help you plan out your modules. So think about what it is that you're teaching and what is the order that you need to teach that whatever, okay? What needs to happen so that you have it and are recording it and creating it, and just make sure that it's in the right order. And the 5 W's just kind of help with the whole idea with your client and who you're speaking to, and knowing their who, what, when, where, and why. Why are they even coming to your hub? What are they looking for? Who are they? Who is this client? When are they coming? Are they coming for you for fun? Or are they coming to you when they're frustrated? Understand your customers' emotions. that's coming into your hub, and where are they coming from, and or where are they coming to, and how did they get to you? And the main thing about that is understanding, does your client do a lot of stuff on their phone? And you know that just makes a difference. It makes a difference in how you're looking at to consume things, because if people are coming to you from their phone, and your ideal client, maybe it's a class about Instagram or something. So Instagram, the classes, you know I personally couldn't see a lot of stuff happening with PDFs, because I very rarely ever download a PDF to my phone. I would want to be able to consume all this by video or visually. That's just me. I'm not an Instagrammer. I don't know a thing that I'm talking about. But why are they coming to you? I'm just being real with you. I'm trying to, teach this to you. And help you to brainstorm through this process so that you just feel less overwhelmed. That is my goal, is that you feel less overwhelmed with this process. So I will close this video, and we will get started on the next video, the next checklist that I have for you.